King Kong, by the way, that's an awesome name, wrote QualityGains. Yes, that's me. Grass-fed beef, cow flesh, being healthier than factory farmed meat. I'm curious on the topic since carnists constantly claim it's healthier. Good video, by the way. Thanks. Your video request shall be granted by the 50 views production empire, Mr. Kong. By the way, is that a freaking middle finger in your profile picture? Your channel gets better and better. And it's true, the importance of grass-fed beef gets often brought up by carnists, but is it truly healthy or only a ruthless marketing ploy by the animal industry to make people do things that are harmful to them? Because as we all know, we're always looking for reasons to justify our bad habits. That's why cigarette smoking used to be a vacation for our throat. In this video you will learn the multiple aspects of grass-fed beef and its ups and downsides. Back in the early days of me being a trainer in a gym, I had an awesome colleague with bad eating habits. All the time he would bring sweets like cookies, donuts and hamburgers to the gym. And when I asked him, dude, why do you eat that stuff? He responded with, look, it got 3 grams of protein. Well, of course he was kidding. I think this is the stuff that we deal with when it comes to the grass-fed beef argument. We have to realize that beef, by the very nature of it being an animal tissue, makes IGF-1 and insulin skyrocket, especially if it gets eaten by non-carnivorous primate species like us. IGF-1 and insulin is promoting cell growth and therefore normally cancer promoting. While grass-fed beef might elevate precursors for vitamin A and E and even have cancer fighting antioxidants, woo, the benefits are not worth the risk. It's like my colleague did, eating Twinkies for protein. Just because there's one good aspect to a bad behavior doesn't justify the bad behavior itself. Using cocaine to lose weight, to use an extreme example, is also a bad idea because the benefits are never worth the risk. Don't block me, YouTube. And even funnily enough, there are only marginal differences in saturated fatty acids in grain-fed and grass-fed beef, and there's a higher amount of glutathione, the helpful antioxidant that the study is promoting, in asparagus than in beef. Why? Because the cattle gets the antioxidants from freaking plants in the first place. Why not cut out the middleman? Because if we take a look at the environment, our middleman, also known as grass-fed cattle, is worse for the environment than grain-fed cattle. Because the grass-fed animals tend to live 2 years longer. While this is awesome from a moral perspective, these 2 years are also time where they can produce carbon dioxide and methane, which is disastrous for the planet that we call Earth. So this doesn't mean that animals shouldn't live longer, this just means that this whole procedure isn't scalable. Plus, don't forget that our farm animals in the USA alone produce 113,000 pounds of per second. And this is 24/7. Plus, if you look at economics, let's not forget that grass-fed beef and the healthier versions of something very unhealthy, so to speak, are completely unaffordable by 95% of people that live on this planet. Plant-based diets can be followed by people on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, previously known as food stamps. There's a reason they show vegetables and fruits on the website, because that's what you're gonna afford on this program. To conclude, grass-fed beef is a marketing ploy to put something down our throat that is marginally better than its unhealthy cousin called grain-fed beef. The benefits are not worth the risk, Mr. Kong, speaking of health, environment and economics. So grass-fed beef could 1. be a reason to justify our bad habits, or 2. a reason to finally go for the alternative without the sentient middleman, which consists of fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes and seeds. If you want to see regular quality content that gets uploaded 3 times per week yet still only gets 50 views, then subscribe to this channel.